Three, two, one.
What up, guys? This is episode 18 of DJ Talks. My name is Johnny,
Hey, I'm Dan.
and this week we have our very first special guest of all time. I'm really excited. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the boys that don't know. And
Hey, so I'm Sal. Some may know me as SugarSugarSal. Pretty easy why that name was chosen. Yeah, here to talk a little bit about the topics today, and take it away.
So Sal isn't really good about talking about himself, but I did go to high school with him. We actually went to middle school together. It was funny because our friendship started by us hating each other. But then we grew up a little and realized hey, we have a lot in common and we actually like the same people, so we should probably be friends. We've known each other for almost 11 years now, I think, something like that.
Long time.
And that's our topic today. Boom.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
See you guys later.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, but Sal is in Seattle right now. He was from Chicago. He's working at Amazon, just chilling. Plays a shit ton of League and started streaming recently, right?
Mhm. Yeah, so that started probably early October. Taking probably a couple day break now just because a lot's been going on. But started streaming pretty much after work or on the weekends, and it's been going all right.
What made you start streaming itself?
I think it was honestly because I could. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I'm gonna become the best streamer or really get out there, something like that. It was more like I have some free time. I'm playing this game anyway. At the time, I was like, oh, I need to get back to plat, so I might as well start putting some time back into this game. And I started streaming pretty much without a cam originally because I had the download and all that kind of speed when it comes to your internet. So I was just like, it's no big deal. Previously, I was living with a roommate, so I might have gotten a little hairy on who's using the internet. So that was the issue. But now that I'm alone, shout out to my best friend, John Joe. Great roommate. But yeah, so really it was just something I thought would be pretty fun, and I was doing it anyway, so I might as well. It's pretty, at this point for me, I wouldn't say low commitment, but low actual additional effort when I'm actually streaming. Pretty much click the button, occasionally have some people in the chat room, talk to them, and usually it's honestly pretty close friends anyway, so nothing too additional on my part. Sometimes there are some people that I don't know, so that makes it a little bit more fun, to be honest.
Haven't you spent some time playing with some of the randoms in your chat?
Yeah, so I would say they are more people who I find in the probably either ranked games, normal games, or ARAM whenever I'm playing that day, and I just literally say, hey, if you're bored, you're on stream. And I just link it to them, and I just give them a smiley face. And sometimes they're like, are you a grill? How big are your boobs? And are you cute? And I can usually say at least yes to the third one. But the other two I don't apply. But it's actually pretty funny because a lot of them do come in and then they're like, oh shit, you're actually kind of entertaining. So I'll actually
so they actually click on the link or go in after you drop the shameless plug.
No, I think probably if I do a ranked game, and obviously 4 of those people I don't know, at least usually 2 or 3 of them actually click in. They probably don't stay during the game because they want to focus on the game, they want to win, etc. But they actually click in, and that's honestly all you need to add to that count. So
right,
they click in. Some of them do listen during the whole time, or they. I actually had one guy who literally linked it to his friends, so 3 other people joined, and they were like, "This guy's pretty funny." So 2 of them ended up following, and then the other guy ended up following too. I think one of them left, but it's whatever. But
one at a time, man.
It's just exciting because it's one thing for your friends to show support, which I appreciate greatly, but it's another thing for people to actually say, oh wow, I'm actually enjoying this despite me not knowing you, not knowing anything about you, and think you're kind of either funny or at least insightful about the game. Which, to be honest, at my level, I wouldn't say you should be watching me for gameplay knowledge.
Right. So what's the end goal then? Are you going to continue streaming? Do you want to keep streaming? Do you want to be...
Yeah, I'm probably going to keep doing it. Like I said, to me, it's not too high of an effort add. and it's fun. I mean, I've gotten some good feedback from both close friends where like, it's a good way for me to kind of just keep a track with you, just because I am in Seattle now. Most of my friends are still in Chicago, so they liked watching it. It also even helps. My girlfriend also lives in Chicago, so she enjoys watching that as well. And then it's fun to meet new people that are actually nice, because obviously you do get some pretty much assholes in your chat sometimes. And in your games, and that just happens. But yeah, I mean, I plan on keep doing it, probably on the same pretty close schedule with work. This time frame, like November, December, because I work in like retail based things for Amazon, it gets a little hectic, so it might not be as consistent as before, but come January, February, etc., I'll be doing it pretty much same time frame, probably like 6 to 8 or 6 to 9ish every weekday, and then weekends really depends on if I have anything kind of pressing to do. So but yeah, no, I still plan on doing it.
Just want to say a quick shout out to Sal's girlfriend in the background of his camera. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cute little photo frame. I actually don't think the viewers can see it because we cropped that part out of your camera. But this is an adorable picture of Sal and his girlfriend. I'm not gonna say her name because that's like
we don't want any creepers going
privacy and shit.
I'm impressed you can actually recognize what that is, because it's literally like on my little screen it looks like two blobs. It could have been me and you.
Yeah, I wish it was.
Hey,
I keep that one on a big poster in my closet.
Hey, that's why we had to keep it low key. Come on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You got Harry Potter. You should put my face over that. Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's pretty dope. No, it's actually funny because I know that I streamed for a little bit. I didn't go nearly as long as you did. So I think I went like maybe a week and a half max. I think Dan did it for the longest of all of us, like a couple months, right?
Yeah, I did it for a couple months. But I did the whole shebang kind of thing. Like I had not overlays. I had like if I wasn't streaming, I was offline screens. I had to Photoshop a crap ton of stuff. I did like YouTube, and I tried to put my stuff on YouTube as well. So I think overall it was just too much, too fast. That's pretty much it.
I think for me, I was like really okay. So I remember exactly why I stopped streaming. So it was like a week where I would just stream my games. I had no idea what I was doing. I had like a really ugly overlay, and I had a decent like following of like 5 or 10 people that would watch, which was hilarious because it was just supposed to be my friends like trolling me in chat. And this is in college, so like most of my friends are like myself, we would just stay in after class and like just fucking play video games all night. So they would be like trolling me, and then I'd have random people come in, so that was pretty cool. But then I remember there's 2 days where I was like trying to give insight as to, like what I was doing in game and why. Not necessarily trying to be educational, but just like talking about like my thought process and stuff. And then somebody came in who I didn't know and was like, "You should stop talking about like what you're doing and like analyzing yourself because you're gold and you don't know what you're talking about." And I stopped, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is horrible." I mean, he was right to a degree, but at the time, I wasn't nearly as good at taking criticism as I am now. Which is kind of why like Dan and I crave that every time at the end of an episode. Like, we actually want to know what you guys think we're doing wrong. And like Dan knows this, but like some of the episodes we get thumbs downs on our videos. That actually gets me excited because that tells me there's someone out there that like sees what we're doing and they don't like it, which means that there's room for improvement, and that if you have haters, then you're in a good place. Like there's that famous quote from like Jack Sparrow, like everyone fucking hates you, like something about like being the most boosted pirate in the world, but you have heard of me. You know what I mean? So like if people at least know who we are, that's cool. But like
those thumbs down may have been an accidental thumbs down.
I mean maybe, but like at least I mean like Sal's also like, just based on what I've seen, he's also been really good at taking criticism too. Like so many people gave him shit for not having a webcam, and he eventually just got one. So
it's worth it.
Dropped $30. I was like, yeah, everybody deserves to see my face. And then that's when the viewers started showing up. So, I don't know. Maybe there's some correlation there. Who knows?
I mean, nowadays, what streamer doesn't have a webcam?
Gosu.
All right,
Masan, because he has a few bots.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there's like very few popular streamers at least. The most popular of the popular. That's why.
And for anyone that's curious, though, we're gonna drop Sal's stream in the description, so You can definitely check him out. He streams 6 p.m. PST, weekdays, right?
Yeah, 6 p.m. PST to like probably 8. I'm a early sleeper, so don't judge me. But yeah, so
Dude.
I might go late for this one, so I might miss my bedtime. So someone tell my manager I'll be there late.
I mean, you being here might get you like one more viewer, man.
That's true. That means a lot. So
yeah, make sure you turn on notifications for his stream so you know when he's on.
There you go. Follow.
Exactly. Dan's an avid viewer. Johnny pops in every once in a while because I know he's very busy, but Dan's the man. He's always there. So appreciate it,
Dude,
buddy.
every night.
Yeah. And he's mad at me when I miss. He's like, "You weren't on yesterday."
I was so sad. What the heck am I doing? Why am I watching the odd one on your stream?
That's me, dude. I got 11 or what? He probably has 1,100 viewers usually. That's me. I did it.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, success.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the game that Sal's always streaming anyway, League of Legends. By the time this episode goes up, it'll have been a little over a week since the World Championship tournament finished.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to talk a little bit about our impressions of the tournament overall. But let's start with the group stages, because now that it's all done, the last time we had a conversation about this was like before all this happened. We did our pick'ems and stuff. So for those of you that don't know, Sal and Dan are pretty big TSM fans. Me, not so much. It's not that I don't like them, but I do think they're a little overrated, but I still was cheering for them, during the group stages because America. But just in general, what did you guys think about group stages? What surprised you? What made you feel bad? Stuff like that.
First off, overrated. Come on, finals every single season of NA. Come on, man.
Even you guys have to admit they are overrated for sure. They're a good North American team. They are overrated though.
How many championships have they won?
I've heard
In
this
NA
argument so many times.
I'm just kidding.
Gross.
Yeah, group stages, TSM, NA in general. Sad, man. I'm just honestly just sad. Every year, it's always like, yes, it feels better. This is going to be the year they finally are going to make it out of group stages. They're finally going to do something. Their team is perfect, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm just...
Wait, so Sal, you stayed up the night to watch the tiebreaker games for TSM.
That was
Tell
a
us
hard
about
night.
that night.
That was a real hard night. So, I actually stayed up to watch it. For those who don't know, well, probably most don't know, I moderate the subreddit for the TSM, so I have to pretty much do the posts. So that's why you might also recognize SugarSugarSal. But I do those posts, so I pretty much have to stay up and watch. Not that I wouldn't, but it was awful. So I remember watching the very first game versus WE, and I was just shaking because I knew we were going to lose that game. Just because they were down so much early on, it was pretty hard to make a clawback there. But that was sad. The misfits, it got scary. I just remember literally shaking, which I think the only time I have done that when it comes to like esports was maybe last year's Worlds as well, when I knew they were pretty much going to lose that game as well. But yeah, it was a rough night. I think I ended up staying up to like 5:30 or something like that because I was back in Chicago at the time to watch all the games, and it was just hard to really go to bed after that because you had to wake up and feel disappointed, which I'm sure everybody's felt when it comes to like sports or tests or anything really, right? So anything that gives you kind of anxiety, which is funny to go back to. But yeah, overall it was a hard night. But at this point, it took a couple days for me to be kind of back to being okay over it. But I'm still proud of the team. They went out, they did what they could. Definitely not like angry or calling for everybody's heads like replace these players, etc., which you see a lot. At the end of the day, they know what they did. They 100% would make better choices than I ever would in that position. So, I think it was sad to see how they performed, but I'm excited to start next year.
Mm-hmm. They probably take it as hard, if not even more, than any of the fans, because they're actually experiencing every single second of Worlds itself, man. So
Totally.
I can't even imagine not only that, but also having every single fan or a lot of fans shit it down their throats. And but you know what? It was still fun to watch overall through the group stages. So
I actually remember that night too. It was really weird. Wait, Dan, did you stay up for that night at all?
no, man, I couldn't stay up for that night.
Jeez,
I watched.
wake up
I
to
watched
tears.
all the reviews. So no. When so the way I watched Worlds was if sometimes I woke up really early, like 5:30 or 6 a.m. To go to work or something. So while I'm preparing or while I'm doing my morning routine,
Yeah.
I have it on. So I pull it up on the phone, an iPad, whatever it is, and I just listen to it while I'm driving to work. I listen to it as well while I'm at work. I may have it on the side or something if I like the reviews or the highlights or anything like that. So
Yeah. So you kind of followed everything after,
Yep.
but the sadness still hit you, you know?
I saw it on the. I remember it too. I saw it on Reddit, so I think it was like top of the front page for me, and it's like, ah, shoot.
Yeah, you saw probably 12,000 upvotes, and you're like, oh, Misfits won.
Oh
For the
shit!
group, for the Group D tiebreaker game. Yep.
It's over.
So
You
that
know
night was, oh man. I remember reading your messages too, Sal. We have a group chat, and he was just going off, and he was like, "Oh, this is like, what did you say? It was like, you said you felt really bad for like staying up or something, or like what a waste of time it was."
I said that was such a big fucking waste of time.
Yeah,
Which, looking back on it, I would have done the same thing, so it wasn't really a waste of time. But in the moment, I just felt like shit.
are you glad you didn't stay up for that, Dan? Or do you kind of wish you were there?
I wish there was a huge, big community or something where we could actually experience it together. Even if we were all sad together, it'd be fun overall.
Companies working to build esports communities.
Hmm.
Hello?
Hello? What? Segment? What?
Hello? Tespa? Hello?
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I wear a HyperX shirt. I won this at a raffle, guys.
Yeah, make sure to leave your comments below. Raffle. Johnny's gonna be giving away that very shirt next stream.
Oh, dang. What?
Yikes. No, it was really weird for me because I was like staying up that night to try to watch things, but I kept dozing off. And I wake up, I'm like, oh, they're still playing. I go back to sleep. I wake up, oh no, I go back to sleep. And I wake up to Sal's messages, like super depressed. I'm like, oh no.
It's over.
I actually felt really bad that next day too. That felt really. I was like,
Mhm.
I think the next day it was raining outside too.
It was
In Chicago.
It was awful rain too. Like we were supposed to meet up with another friend, and he was just like, I can't even drive right now. So, yeah, it was really bad rain.
Yeah,
World is
it was the
crying.
first time in a while where it was like raining all day, like literally all day in Chicago. So I was like, yeah, God's upset at TSM as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
not only that, but Immortals played before that too, right? Immortals was already
Alright.
out.
I had no hope for Immortals. Honestly, I did not think they were gonna make it out of groups.
Yo, I had them They were on track. They were on track to do it.
That's true.
Fnatic was shit in the bed. Come on, it was. I had all three NA teams making it out this year. Maybe it's just the
I
NA
actually
hope.
blame Immortals. They started the fucking week 2 meme, and that's what dragged us all down. So if I ever
Wait,
see
did it
any
start
of them-
0-4, right?
They started 0-4. If I ever see one of them in the stream, I'm gonna punch them in the face. It's all their fault. So it's all their fault. You know, glad they're not gonna come back next year.
Oh, damn.
Ugh.
That's
not
the
even-
next level.
That was also sad. I put them actually getting out on second too.
Mhm.
But you know, Fnatic had a miracle run, so that was actually fun to see.
Yeah.
Until the next day, where I got to see the opposite of a miracle run.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you were saying that, yeah. Immortals started it off. TSM was afraid to have the exact same thing as Immortals, and
And they did it.
yeah, they did it.
They won a game.
Hey,
They won one game.
Yeah.
what is that? 1-8. Woo.
I don't know. I thought that like just looking at Immortals and Fnatic next to each other, when you look at the two esports orgs, you would usually assume that Fnatic is probably gonna make it out in the tournament setting, but I could also see why so many NA fans or like just people that are following NA in general expected Immortals to do better because like they looked really good coming out of the summer split,
Mhm.
and Fnatic looked like garbage.
Mhm.
But my gut just told me like I just think Fnatic's gonna pull it out. I felt like I don't know. They've been around for longer, and I just like associate their brand with having done well in international tournaments in general. So like my gut just said it was gonna be Fnatic, and I didn't think Immortal. I thought Immortals was gonna choke, which I did. I think I said that to Dan. I don't remember.
Yeah,
we
did this
disagreed
stream.
about that.
Yeah, it was on stream. I wasn't willing to bet on that because it was first time Immortals at Worlds. You never know what's gonna happen, but at the same time, yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, Fnatic's probably gonna make it out. So.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys were pretty spot on about like Immortals kind of just choking and dropping the balls. Like they might have been a reason why they set the tone for like the rest of NA. They're like, ah shit. It's not looking good for them. It might not be good for us.
Yeah, they didn't. No other team. Well, maybe C9 did a little bit, but the rest of the NA teams didn't play to win. They played to not lose. And at that point, it was already sold because you're on the world stage. You're playing against these teams that look super hungry and want to prove themselves. And if you're playing like that, it's kind of hard to win a game. So, it was unfortunate, but I think the good shining star is C9 did, prove NA still has some fighting.
You know what's crazy about C9? I think they've made it to quarters every year they've gone to Worlds.
Sneaky.
Yeah, they did. They have. Unless they
like,
didn't.
What the hell?
I don't know about 2015. That's the only one I don't know. Because 2014 they played Samsung White or Samsung Blue and lost.
Blue, yeah, that was blue.
Yeah. 16 they definitely made it because they're the only ones who made it out, and this year they did too. So I don't know. I forget about 2015.
I don't remember about 2015 either. I do just remember like that being a really interesting factoid about Cloud9. Like every year they've made it to the quarterfinals, which maybe you're right. Maybe 2015 they didn't. I don't remember. We would look it up, but we're recording right now, so we don't have to worry about the minor details. But like they're still considered like a really good org. It's just like really surprising because they look like garbage sometimes.
Yeah, and a ton of the third place teams did really well.
Like WE, right?
WE, Samsung Galaxy. And
Fnatic too. They were also made it by the skin of their teeth.
Every single group, their third place in their region team had gone further than what was expected of them, pretty much.
You learn from failure, and I think that's like a big reason why TSM didn't do so well either, because like they kind of like randomly dropped games at NA, but they're just like, I think Reggie said it really well in an interview with Travis right after they didn't make it, that like they were just better players and they didn't necessarily ever win by being the better team in NA. They're just like, they had 5 players that were better than your 5 players. And it's like, I mean, you don't really learn much if you're like pub stomping people when you're not even trying, right?
It's what I do every day of my life in League.
That's pretty good. All right, so am I gonna admit defeat, or do you want to like claim the victory for the bet we made, Dan?
All right, you know what? We all right, yeah. I'm gonna claim the victory here. If you go back a couple of episodes, Johnny and I made a small bet. It was a small bet though, but we're gonna be talking about RNG and Samsung Galaxy. Even though Samsung Galaxy went all the way and took it straight home, bringing the trophy with them, who made it out of group first was RNG. That was our bet. I think Johnny, you just buy me some McDonald's or something. We need to do it anyways, but yeah.
I still feel like they were the better team at the time. Oh man,
they didn't play each other in the quarterfinals or finals, so
they didn't. But I think the transitive property is applicable in this tournament, since they did play like RNG played SKT, who they lost to 3-2, and then Samsung beat SKT the following week.
3-0.
But RNG won 2-0 in group stages against Samsung.
Yeah.
So how do you, like? There's so many hard things to actually explain, but
yeah,
it's overall just a fun little bet. So
it was fun.
We'll bet next time too. Every single world.
If you took the Fnatic bet, I would have won too, because fuck Immortals, man. No, that's okay. I actually really like the Immortals logo. I think they're a cool brand. I also like how Noah's like super outspoken all the time, but like they got fucked, so at least they have Overwatch League.
Yeah. After $20 million, they have Overwatch League.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah. But I really want to talk about the opening ceremony, because that was something I was like super hyped about. But I'll save my fanboy moment for later. What did you guys think of the opening ceremony? You can rip it apart and say it was garbage, by the way. I just
No, I thought it was good. I think it was like probably their their best one is when it comes to like scale. You could see there were thousands of people in the crowd. You could
80K.
yeah, you could see that they put a lot of time, a lot of effort. They had performers. They had, they had good representation of the players. They came out. They looked excited. They had good hype videos, and I mean that dragon was badass. So
That
I thought it was
dragon.
really good. I think it was my. I don't know if it was my favorite, but I think it was like the best like showmanship to show how esports has evolved and where it is. I think my favorite is still probably the one where what is it? Imagine Dragons performs, just because I really like the song.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this
Hell
was,
yeah.
I just think this one was really exciting. If anybody had not really watched the League of Legends event before and just saw that intro, they'd probably say, "What the hell is this? This is like kind of cool, maybe." So I thought that was really interesting and fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Asia in general puts on great, amazing performances in general. I think it was Shanghai the 2015 or something.
For
It
what?
was in
All Stars?
yeah. Something else was in China as well, and they put on a great show at the at least opening ceremony.
With the drums, right?
The drums and so when it comes to at least history of Asian country, whatever it was, had amazing little shows. So I thought it was
Good
really cool.
shows, good teams. Fuck, we don't need NA. We don't need EU. Just cancel it.
Just
We'll have a mini tournament, the best of the worst. Call it that. We'll just go there. Maybe we can win that time.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, even then, EU might win too.
Yeah, that's true. We won't invite them.
All right, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
us and let's say South
That's it.
America. That's it. All right. No, just
That's
us.
too high of a chance.
Damn. That's right. CLG keeps losing to them.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I fucking love the opening ceremony. So I remember right after a recording that I did with Dan for DJ Talks, I got a YouTube notification on my computer that said like Jay Chow Hero Worlds Remix by League of Legends, and I like almost shat myself. Like,
It wasn't
4 times.
after. It was
That
during.
Was during.
Oh, it was during the recording.
During
You
the-
were like, oh my god, I just got a notification. Oh, sorry, I forgot we're recording. I'm just so excited.
Oh, I thought it was after, but yeah, I was really hyped, and then Jay Chow's like one of my favorite. I've known Sal longer, but I've almost been following Jay Chow for as long as I've known Sal. So like seeing one of my favorite artists of all time, like on stage for one of my favorite games of all time, like in the same event for like a huge tournament was like fucking hype.
Mhm.
I also read on Reddit, so this isn't my original thought, but that I think it was a cool idea to have the Elder Dragon show up when the Summoners Cup was raised because it was protecting it in the Bird's Nest, which is the name of the venue. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, I don't even know if that was intended, but like having, the mighty dragon protecting its
Yeah.
jewel in the Bird's Nest, like with 80,000 people in there watching, I think that was cool. Riot did say that for the people in the venue, they only saw the dragon through the screens that were up on for people to watch the games. But in the future, they might be like pushing the limits to see where else they could take technology or where technology could take them rather. So
Yeah. Dude,
I think we
holograms,
could
man.
see really cool stuff in the future. Yeah, I'd be really hyped for that.
That'd be so cool. That'd be
Yeah.
honestly dope as dude. Holy shit. Yeah. The dragon I thought was really cool in general just because it was unexpected and completely unexpected for us.
Yeah.
Even though the audience couldn't see it, but we got to experience it full on. So
And I think that it was also cool because like if you watch the video with the dragon, the performers on stage actually interacted with it. Were like, so they had dancers on a Summoner's Rift type stage, and during the Jay Chow song, the dancers would take turns dancing as if they're fighting each other in the lanes of Summoner's Rift, and then you could see them like scatter away as the dragon came out. So it felt very real watching that. I just thought that was really cool. And then Jay Chow did a little tribute to his like one successful movie ever called Secret from 2006. So he played like a little medley from there before playing Legends Never Die. I don't know, man. This was definitely my favorite opening ceremony of all time. I had a couple of friends tell me that they thought it was really bad and they hated it. They thought the dragon was cringe. They thought Jay Chow was overrated. They thought Against the Current was like kind of boosted and that the singer wasn't that good. I was like, I think she's hot and I think she's a good singer. So I mean,
Mhm.
whatever. But like everyone has their opinions. So I just really want to know what you guys thought. So,
Overall, it was really good. What was your favorite song so far then, out of the couple of worlds here?
well, Sal, you said that you thought it was Imagine Warriors, right?
Yeah,
Imagine Dragons,
I
right?
think Warriors was my favorite. I think that was the same one that had the hype video. It got
Mhm.
a lot
Yeah.
behind it. They brought them out to sing it. So I thought that was really cool. I think it's still like on one of my top played
Mhm.
songs. Just gets me pumped.
Does Jay Chow play League?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like I think he's like silver or gold, but like, you know,
He's,
he plays. He also owns J Team, which was previously TPA, I believe.
He's their Rick
Okay.
Fox.
He is the Rick Fox. Like he's good at everything else he does in his life, except he's boosted and well, not boosted because he's silver, but you know,
Hey, he's better than most people in the world here. Come on.
That's true.
yeah.
No
But,
disrespect for Silvers.
I think what was my favorite song? So the Zed song, I thought sucked when I first heard it, but then it
Mhm.
grew on me, and I like it now. I really like it. I think Legends Never Die just has that like you listen to it and you can almost feel like a little nervous, just like a little some butterfly. Maybe that's just like the post worlds feeling that we get now. When I first heard Warriors, I was like, there's so much intensity in the song, but it didn't feel like overwhelming and it didn't feel like it was overdone. I think when I think about Warriors, I remember there was one time I was in the football stadium at my college and they played Warriors by Imagine Dragons, the song made for League of Legends, by the way, advertising their football program. I'm like, well, first of all, U of I football sucks ass. Secondly, that song's from esports. Why the fuck are you guys not supporting this yet? I don't know. I just thought it was really cool that like the song has got as far as like making it into other industries, but like something that good came from esports. Like you can say that like this is a product of esports, even though Imagine Dragons like was from esports, right?
Right.
So I'm kind of torn between Legend Never Die and Warriors. I think those are really good. But I did sing Warriors once at karaoke, so maybe I'll put it first. Like,
Let's just say overall, Riot has done an amazing job at producing or creating some of these kind of amazing musical experiences. Have you ever seen their video on explaining
like
their
the music.
orchestra, their music, or how they create it? Have you guys seen that yet?
I've heard of it.
Mhm.
I think I wanted to watch it, and I just never did.
All right. Well, I just think if you want to check it out, it's pretty cool and learning the behind the scenes of it a little bit. But everyone loves League and is dedicated to that specifically. So creating
Wait,
that
guys, are we
music
forgetting a song?
Yeah, there was one last year that was garbage.
yeah, that's why
Is it
nobody
like-
remembers it.
It like it sounded like it was about to hit like a climax and drop.
Wait, was it last year's Zed?
No, I think. Wait, was it Zed's last?
Yeah, last year's song was Zed.
Well, the year before the Warriors was the one we're missing then, and that one
Yeah.
was pretty good too. I forgot it was, but yeah,
Well,
Ignite,
I didn't like that
that's-
one too much.
That's what
No,
Zed
Ignite
did.
was 2016. Legend Never Dies 2017. Warriors was 2014. What was the 2015 song? Why are we forgetting so much about 2015 Worlds? Like we don't know Cloud9 making that.
It was
Warriors Legend.
Worlds Collide by Nikki Taylor, or featuring Nikki
Oh,
Taylor.
Worlds Collide. Yeah. That was. Wait, no. Wait. Oh yeah, that
That
one
was
was
2015.
Okay. That was
Wait.
good. Yeah.
Oh, I remember this now.
Yeah, it was okay.
It probably because 2015 wasn't as exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this speaks to like our experience with 2015 Worlds that like none of us really remember, so maybe it didn't stand out as much.
Mhm.
No.
2014 stood out to us. That was when it was SKT Coup Tigers, Imagine Dragons. That's pretty hype.
For me, it was TSM versus Samsung White. That's what I remember.
and that was Cloud9 Samsung Blue. Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
I remember that year, everyone was like, "Oh, Cloud9 plays like Samsung Blue, and Samsung Blue plays like Cloud9. So we'll see who's
Yeah.
like the better Cloud9 or better Samsung Blue."
Mhm.
And that was when TSM was like, "Oh, we got a game, right?"
Yeah, we got a game.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think we were the only ones. I think RNG took one off them too, but I think we were one of the only teams to take a game off of them. So that was
Yeah, that was when it was.
Yeah, we got a
dominant.
game.
Yeah,
In
and-
quotation marks.
amazing. If you remember him, the old jungler for TSM goes on to say that he thinks they were still a top 4 team at that tournament, and had they won a game during groups when it's actually funny because SK at the time, SK Gaming beat them,
SK Gaming.
and Sven Skaren was on the team, who was now on TSM, and he's like their main reason they like TSM lost that game because Sven Skaren completely wiped the floor with Amazing and everybody. So he goes on to say that if they had won that game, they probably would have made semis, if not final. So you know, history is what it is, but it's funny to think that that could have happened.
Yeah.
I said this to Dan too in our Worlds episode, but like I still believe that TSM could have been a top 4 team at this tournament. I honestly believe they could have made it to semis or finals in this tournament. Like I was actually really surprised, like because other analysts agreed with me too. And I'm not just saying that to like justify my opinion, but that's like honestly my impression of the team going into the tournament. I just feel like it was all a mental game, and I honestly think they just choked.
I disagree now, actually. Especially if it's a mental game, they based on purely, I guess, skill itself, yes, maybe, but the whole overall, they just can't cut it. They're under the pressure situation at Worlds. They have failed so many times that it's just, I don't know if it's a mental game or something, but I think it's just something holding them back.
You know who's been on a team every year they failed?
Bjergsen?
Reggie.
Oh shit.
I'm just trolling. I really admire Reggie as an individual.
It's hard not to. He can crash 2 Ferraris and his bank account won't even look different.
Damn.
That's a true statement by his brother.
Oh shit, really?
By Dan Din.
By Dan Din.
Dan Din.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Dan Din. You my nigga.
Yeah. He probably
What
watches
the-
this.
He's probably one of the subs.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. Remember you.
All right, so something new at Worlds this year was the fact that they did a play-in stage. Just really quickly, I want us to know what your thoughts on all of that. I just want to like, I know we have other topics we want to cover, but like, what did you guys think of the play-in stage?
I think it went as expected. Every team that probably should have made it out. It was kind of fun because it gave you like a little bit of a pre-Worlds hype, I guess. I mean, I only really watched the C9 and Fnatic games because those were the teams I only cared about, really. But I thought it was pretty fun. At least to see, it got me probably too overhyped because I was like, wow, C9's doing so well. But then I forget that these are pretty much like kids in Nicaragua who don't really know about me. So it's their first time probably even playing the game. So
Right.
So
Oh,
I'd say the only sad part was what happened to Lion Gaming, where they were so close to making it out, and if they had gotten seeded a little better, it would have been a little bit more exciting. But they got signed up with WE, and their boat was sailed.
So, did you guys think that watching the other regions was like a waste of time? Because I feel like no one's actually gonna watch like Japan get fucked because they don't have like a real league scene, or like I don't know. Why would you want to watch these like random scrub regions? I mean, I think it's cool that Riot wants to like give them a chance to play on stage. I really like that because that's like a really good move for esports as a scene. But like, no one wants to watch these teams, so I'm like really torn on that.
Yes and no at the same time because yes, it was a little bit of a waste of time because they all sucked compared to the actual teams that got out, but no, because they had picks that were very different as well, right? You saw things that you wouldn't have normally seen, which is exciting because if you all of a sudden see one of your favorite champions being played even somewhat in Worlds, it's exciting overall to see that. And it just, the first 2 weeks, it just kind of got it hyped for the teams that are the favorites, like Cloud9, World Elite, all of that. They got it even more hyped and more excited, so more people watched.
That's true.
So yeah, I thought it was a great thing that they did. So
yeah, and I would say it also goes to show that the teams that should have made it out, and that was because they played their game right. They respected the other team, which is probably kind of newer for a lot of people because you didn't see anything too trolly out there from at least the teams that wanted to play safe and make it out. So it shows that they kind of at least respect the other teams, and their regions are starting to acknowledge that they shouldn't come empty-handed to a game that maybe they don't expect what the other team's going to do. They probably did some research. So.
After the Albus Nox Luna making it so far, I don't think
Oh,
anybody will underestimate a team as much
That's what
as
I want
that
to see next
anyway.
year when we send CLG as our 3rd seed and they get knocked out in play-in. So that'll be fun. They
Holy
can hopefully,
shots fired.
hopefully it's, not an NA, which it shouldn't be an NA next year, so they can swim back to America.
Holy, hey, they don't have Coma's whip. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, the next time Worlds is in NA, I'm fucking going. I really want to. I'll put down whatever money it is. I'm going to see the Worlds Finals live.
Dude, the tickets are never actually that expensive. They're like $50
just
or
getting
something.
there.
Yeah, it's just
Getting
getting
It's like
to the
50
actual
bucks
venue.
to get in the door and then like $1,000
Yeah.
like, for travel and hotel. You're like, well, fuck me.
You sleep on the ground outside of the World Stadium.
You sleep in the venue.
Sleep in the venue. Boom, you're done.
This isn't DreamHack. I think
man.
another really good point about like Dan, what you're saying about having like teams play that like from I was gonna say scrub regions. That's really mean. But
Tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is.
Worst regions.
like if you're a dude like from Nicaragua or something and your team made it to Worlds, like it would be cool to watch your boys play on stage, even if they get fucked. Like if you're in this country that's never had representation in this tournament before, and you get to see a team representing your country play, then that's exciting, and that is a reason for esports to grow in like your country, your region. That's something that you see in Overwatch too. Like they're doing the whole localization thing where like teams have to represent themselves based on a city. I mean that gives you a reason to get excited for them, right? I think it's finding different ways to reach esports audiences by like getting creative with your approach. So
And I would say Korea probably says the same thing about us every time we go to World. So,
oh, absolutely.
so,
They're like America's free.
I've never understood how free they were until Misfits beat TSM.
Every interview too. It's like, oh yeah, NA's great. NA's great. They're amazing. They're the best teams so far.
Literally the free world.
Freedom.
Freedom and American fight.
Oh man, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead, Dan.
Any other final thoughts on Worlds itself? Anything you liked, disliked? Any final things?
Shox is still hot. Dude, she put a picture of her, like someone took a picture of her and Jay Chow on Instagram. I'm like, fuck, man. You got two of my favorite people in the same photo. I appreciate this.
Well, you two have a nice picture with her, so
Yeah.
you know.
That's true. That's true.
I've never met her, but I imagine she's very nice.
She's my height. She's actually my height exactly,
wow.
almost.
Is that which? Well, in the picture I imagine she wore heels, right? Is that
No.
without-
No,
without-
that was her without heels. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. 2018 TSM wins it. It's their year. 100%.
True
So.
TSM fan right there. Every year, yeah. 2019, 2020, 21. Every year is TSM's year.
Every year will be their year.
Wait, so did Reggie already PayPal you guys? Or
Yeah,
what?
actually, he just messaged me. He actually took my money. So I actually owed him some money. So
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I bought too many hoodies. So they were just so comfortable.
Dude, I actually really want to get a TSM jersey. I want to get a TSM jersey and a Cloud9 jersey. They're just like the best performing teams in NA, and their brands are dope. I want to get them at some point. I don't know when.
They should get a mascot. All of them should get like some type of mascot thing.
I think they're gonna have to with how franchising's going out. It seems like they'll need some sort of mascot, not just 3 letters. Well, Cloud9 can at least dress up as a cloud. So that'll be
Cloud mascot.
Yeah.
TSM could dress up as Reggie.
That's true. Everybody could be looking like monkeys.
I was gonna say they could be just the best Wukong.
Oh my god! All right, we're moving on.
Savage.
We're moving on here. I wanted to get your thoughts and share the excitement of preseason itself. I want to know what you are actually most excited to see, or to play, or to experience in the games that you're going to be playing actually in the next probably 30 minutes.
I was looking at the clock. I'm like, yeah, we're probably playing the game after
probably true.
this. Go ahead, Sal. It's all you.
Yeah, I think what I'm most excited for is well, I'll let someone talk about Runes and Masters, but so I guess I'm most excited for is the expanded like leveling system. I don't really know what it entails too much because they didn't give too many details. Outside of that, you can pretty much level, I think, to an endless degree, if
Hmm.
not very high capped. You get certain rewards at every incremental level or some
Yeah, it
number
is
of
infinite.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds interesting. I imagine they'll eventually run out of actually good things you want from leveling because they can only give out so much because
Hmm.
it's Riot. But but I think honestly, when I saw that I was level 30 and there was like an extra bar underneath my level when I logged on today, I was like, oh shit, I have a reason to play this game outside of like getting a better rank or something like
Hmm.
that, or having fun with friends. Now maybe
Yeah.
I'll actually queue up for a normal with only one other person or by myself, as opposed to usually I don't do normal unless I
Yeah,
get two or
definitely.
three friends, right? So
And you can see how much you actually do waste your life on this game. Level
yeah, they got right
3,000?
online apparently. They only told me 4 days. That's a lie. If I only spent 4 days on this game, I would have so much time back. I'd be a millionaire. So
Damn, damn, that's true.
uh, I think I'm really excited. Like the leveling system, I think is dope. It does remind me a lot of Overwatch. You know, like every time you level up in Overwatch, you get a loot box.
Which is really
It
cool.
just reminds me a little bit of that. I do think that it does give you a reason like want to play more because like just the feeling of earning experience is really cool. Um, I think that there are a lot of really cool opportunities to take advantage of the new rune system as well because like it was just so stupid the way they made it. Like you had to have runes or you couldn't play the game at a competitive level. That was like a huge barrier of entry, and like the game is hard enough to learn as it is. Like
Mhm.
I'm really glad that they just reworked the whole rune system. So like if you go to the new runes now in the client,
Mhm.
there's an option at the bottom for you to toggle like detailed mode or just like give you the simple explanation of what this rune does.
Yep.
And it's really nice because like for a new player, you're just reading through stuff and you're like, oh that sounds cool. Oh that sounds cool. Oh that sounds cool. And you're just going through everything. That's a great way to learn how to play the game. Like you go in, you pick your favorite runes, they sound nice, you're in the game, and then you're just playing. And you get to actually like focus on that learning part as opposed to this like convoluted weird thing where you have like a page that's like in the circle and you have to like put little rocks in there that you have no idea what they mean. And then you have like pages that you only have two for some reason because you just started the game. Like that's just really dumb.
yeah,
And then they
and
give
then
you like pre-reloaded rune pages this time too. So it's like they're giving you like a little guidance. I think that it's phenomenal. I'm really glad they did that.
yeah, and going back to the new person thing. Now you can't put them in a converter, so I'm sure a lot of kids who were first were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a best rune. I'm gonna put 3 of my best runes," and they get complete shit. Get like
What was that? The rune
it
converter.
was garbage. So that, and then going like
They
I
tried.
think I could be wrong because it's been a while since I made a new Smurf or anything like that, but like you couldn't really jungle until a certain level because you didn't have runes to do it. You die in the jungle. So
Mhm.
I think it's interesting because it allows hopefully earlier level people who are just starting the game, which I think at this point is pretty slim to none, but still it allows them to at least jungle if they want to because they'll have to learn it eventually because it's just part of a role in League. So I
Yeah,
think that's a nice fix.
Mhm.
definitely. I think my favorite. It's not even a pre. I guess it's sort of a preseason change is Zoe, the new champion.
She looks fun as hell, dude. I'm so
She looks
excited.
so fun. The amount of movement and how difficult she looks is what's actually most exciting because you have all their new champions have been super cool. Um, I mean, Ornn maybe a little, Ornn is still a super different style and dynamic that they actually added into the game. So, um, good on Riot for creating these and still continuously creating such diverse champions. But yeah, Zoe, I imagine her kind of like Ari. You know, it's a little bit of a mobility champion, bouncing around. They have able to kind of. It looks like burst a little bit, but it just looks super fun and exciting to play. I'm
Mhm.
excited. I want to be a Zoe main too, but you know everybody else is probably wanting to be a Zoe main, so I don't know
I
if I
already
can do
changed my
that.
name on League. It's already Zoe Man, so you're gonna have to get in line.
Oh shit! All right.
I
Well,
know a couple of friends that actually don't like Zoe at all. They're like, she's so annoying. I can't believe this champion came out. Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm
everybody
like,
was
I don't
shitting
know.
on her.
I'm
just
excited.
just turn her sound off and you'll be okay. Come on.
I
That's
don't think
what.
she's that annoying. I think it's adorable, personally. But
I don't know if you guys saw, but they apparently said she's very old, so she can get around that whole
Mhm.
hentai barrier, so people can start making some pretty
mm,
drawings. So
mm.
the
Yeah.
typical, approach. So be careful.
We anime now.
Yeah, we're switching our hats now. But
It's like
I think
5,000 or something, right?
yeah, I forget the age they gave her.
Is she 5,000 years old?
I think so.
They were
or
like,
something.
don't be fooled by how she looks. She's actually super old, and apparently she's supposed to be like an actual powerful creature, or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
Lore's been thrown out the window because Riot's like, fuck that. No one needs to be a summoner anymore.
She has a crush on Ezreal. I saw
Oh,
that in
same.
interaction.
Really?
Yeah, there are interactions when you either do dances or taunts or have him in front of Ezreal. He's like, "Oh, why are you even with this person or Lux or something? You should get rid
Oh,
of her and
Ezreal's
be with me."
banging Lux?
He's with Tarek. We all know that. Come on now.
There we go.
Armor of the fifth age? Yeah.
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 Pink Tarek?
Oh yeah.
There was one year I went to an anime convention. Sal, weren't you there for this?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been to an anime convention in my life.
Yo, fuck yourself, man. Alright, so there's one year I was at an anime convention with Sal. I know he was there. We were walking around and we saw some cosplayers. And we saw these really two, like, buff, handsome dudes cosplaying, like, pretty skimpy, shirtless Ezreal and then skimpy, shirtless Tarek. And my dumbass was wearing a Teemo hat. So I did the natural thing that anyone wouldn't do. And I took my shirt off, ran towards them, and
What
took a
the
picture with
fuck?
them.
I do remember that.
So I have this goof ass picture of me like smiling with these two like really handsome dudes, and I have a bit of a gut because I'm a little thick, so I like sucked it in a little bit. And I remember like one of my friends, I showed her the picture. She's like, "Did you suck in your tummy for this?" I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." But yeah, you guys mentioned Ezreal Tarek, and that was the first thing I thought of. I don't know where that picture is. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's on Facebook somewhere, but
Hopefully hidden, right?
Mhm.
So-
I haven't seen it yet. I've been through it. I mean, what? I haven't been through anything.
What's
What?
that mean, Dan? What
What?
are you looking at?
I
Going
mean,
through Donnie's pictures.
Hello? Oh, it's not public on my Facebook. It's in a secret group that I have with Sal and some high school friends.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, there's some scary pictures in that group.
Sal and I were not the smartest high school kids. We did well in school, but like, I don't know about
Yeah.
outside.
People do a lot of things for a few laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. There was something that Dan said that I wanted to touch on. I think it was about Zoe, but it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, well, Ari.
it is what it is.
Ezreal.
Didn't Riot say that they were gonna like lower the complexity or like stop releasing as many champions so they could like
That's
focus
actually
on-
perfect. That's what I wanted to go back to. So I think when we first started, I forget when Dan, when did you start playing League?
Shit, man. That was my freshman year of college, 2011.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Season 1.
Yeah,
yeah.
season
so
one.
yeah, so season 1. So at least when I started, it was probably like the end of season 2.
That was
and
both
like
of us started, yeah.
season 3 was like the first thing I really remember.
Mhm.
And I think they're cranking out maybe I want to say 8 to 10 champs a year, maybe a little bit more. And it just seemed like a lot of them weren't as well defined as they are now. So I think at this point, I like the fact that they're maybe doing. I don't know. Does anybody actually know the actual count? Maybe like 3 or 4 a year?
100. Oh, that.
Yeah, like how many do they do yearly? Probably a little bit more than
I
that.
think four, probably
Well, how many champions
4
came out
to
this
6.
year? We have Zoe,
Ornn.
who's about to come out, Ornn,
Zoe.
Zaya Rakan.
Yeah,
Camille wasn't this year, was she?
No.
she might have been. I don't know.
2017 champs.
Before Ornn.
Zaya and Rakan, I think. But Zaya and Rakan was a special case where they were creating like a dynamic like duo
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I would count them as like one champ.
Mhm.
But it's 2. They both have 2 amazingly cool kits. So, not that it matters about the number, but I think the champs are a lot more.
Oh,
fluid.
Kane.
Oh yeah, Kane.
Did Ivern come out this year?
No, I think
that one
that
was a while ago, yeah.
Okay, so if Camille came out this year, then 5 champions have come out. Ornn, Kane, Rakan, Zaya, Camille.
Zoe, Kane,
And Zoe would make
Zaya,
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think the champs are a lot more fluid. If you think about like Kane, if you think about Rakan, you think about Zaya, And then if you think about Zoe, like I feel like a lot of their abilities and auto attacks just feel very crisp. Feels fun to play. I mean, I don't play to carry too much, but from watching streamers talk about it and even like friends who aren't as good as the streamers, they like, oh, it feels very fluid. It feels fun to play. And then playing like a lot of Rakan that I have done, it's a fun champ. It's very interesting to do as opposed to some of the more boring kind of. I mean, I love Leona. It's what got me to how back to plat, but she's very you go in and you fight kind of champion, and there's not much more there. But I think they've been doing a lot of diverse champs.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're also doing that is because they're updating a lot of the older champs too, right? So yeah, there were only 5 this year. Then the first one or the last one of last year was Camille, and then the first one of this year was Zaya and Rakan. So, but they made Warwick updates this year. They made Galio update, Urgot, and Evelyn. So I guess you can consider those as new champions then. Because they got a whole brand new kind of rework. So
and I think all of those updates were really good and really.
Oh yeah, I love them.
I know people are just like, oh, I miss old Galio, I miss old Urgot, but it's like, come on, this guy literally pulls you into 2 chainsaws out of his belly and just eats you with you less than a quarter health. Like, that's what other game has that? Well, there's probably some, but still.
Pudge.
Yeah, that's true. Pudge has it. It's literally his. You're right.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I think like reworking these old champions to give more of an identity and like modernization of their kits was awesome. I personally, my favorite was the Eve rework, but that's only because, like, to be fair, I don't play any of the other champions too much. I've played them like once or twice, but I really liked where they went with Eve, and it feels really cool to play her. So
yeah, her ult is awesome.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, Riot, good job again. Like, maybe this is just a stream to, just appreciate Riot for everything they do and giving us
script for Worlds sucked. Let's get that out of the way. I was so disappointed. Saw this one coming a mile away. Thought they'd do something interesting, but
you're right.
The game, they're doing well in the game. Not good story writers though.
Oh yeah, but they're still. I mean, now they're still creating some type of lore for every single champion as well, which is super cool. Because I remember they took out lores in general before, but now they at least have something going on, even if it's not a lot. And it's super cool. Like you see people on YouTube creating these animes or entire clips or entire, almost like a show of League of Legends. I don't know if you guys have seen this already. There's a Chinese YouTube League of Legends. What was it, like an anime or one episode?
It's like an anime-esque thing. I think it's a couple. I think it's like 2 or 3 episodes. I think we actually watched it together, Johnny.
Did we?
Yeah, it's like really, it's like crudely drawn, but it's like, yeah, I don't remember too much about what they actually do in it, but it's pretty funny. They have some funny one-liners here and there, and it might just because it's poor translation, but
but there's like super serious-looking ones too, and which is there's so much that people can probably do, and I hope Riot does in the future as well. But yeah.
I mean, all the fans have always been screaming for an anime, right? Like, oh, make this, make that. But it's like, I could see how that could not do too well. So I can see why they want to avoid that.
Of course.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of why in every major, and for every Zelda game, for that matter, Link never talks, because they're really adamant about the idea that you are Link, you are the hero of time, and like your thoughts, your actions, and your personality and the way you move around in the game and interact with characters is like defines that like aspect of the game. And I think that if you created like this anime or created storylines and personalities for these champions, it kind of removes the personal connection you might have with them, because like, oh, the champion that Riot is saying is the personality of this character might not be the person you associate yourself with or the person that you fell in love with. Because a lot of like the fact is that a lot of people love some of their favorite champions in League of Legends to the point where like they like would feel like a personal connection to them. And I think that that's like a really big reason why people love the game so much. Like, you see one of your favorite champions get reworked and like it goes really well. It's like almost losing a bit of your identity, but like you kind of hope that Riot does justice with that champion. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it'd be a double-edged sword because it'd be really entertaining for people to watch. But like, if you know that champion for the way you play them and like having your favorite skin of them or whatever it is, then I think you might lose a little bit of that personal connection there. But that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. When are they coming out with that board game?
I was about to say that too. Has anybody ever tried that or anything like that?
No, they
Has
didn't.
anybody know anything about it?
They have it still in works, right? It's
Wait, no, they released the board
No,
game
it's,
already.
it's released. Yeah.
Oh, really? Holy
Yeah, it's like the
shit.
Yordle thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's like Ziggs is like the front cover or something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Never
just
played
haven't
it,
thought
but-
of it,
Yeah.
Actually, to talk kind of about something they released. So at PAX, they had like a party, like an after party after PAX West, and they showed some of like I guess internal created games that are just for fun. Apparently, they have like a week where a bunch of developers and like other people get together and just make some fun games that they want to do.
Mhm.
And they kind of did like some platformers that involved Ziggs fighting Brand, and they did some like kind of top down beat 'em up style, kind of like not Street Fighter, but the other one, like Streets of Rage and type stuff.
okay. Yeah.
And they just did that with a couple of characters, and it was interesting seeing them in a different area that's not in like the normal League of Legends client.
Mhm.
But I think, like you said, it was for fun, and it I could see how it could take out of like the persona of someone like having that attachment to the character. But it was a cool idea. They had him in like arcade stands, and you actually had to play him in there, so it was fun.
Mm.
I think there was also a Reddit post of something like that where there was a person who was creating this fighter, like Street Fighter kind style, where they had Annie and they had, I think, someone else as one of the fighters, and they previewed it almost. I don't know what happened to it specifically, but I feel like that'd be super cool as well. They'd have the same kit, same like moves, but just in a fighter style.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know how.
I do remember seeing that, but I thought I thought the idea was kind of boosted. So I don't know. I just think like putting random characters in a fighting game. You could do that like any game. Like I
That's
mean,
very
it's a
true,
cool
yeah.
idea, but like if you execute it well, I think it's awesome. Like I mean, that's basically what they did with Pokemon. Right? They just put some of the most popular Pokemon into a fighting game called Pokken Tournament. And don't get me wrong, I personally really like Pokken Tournament, but like
Yeah.
not everybody does. If you want to play a fighting game that's like that style, just play Smash. Like everyone's gonna want to play Smash, right?
True.
So
Yeah, it's about making the game slightly more unique. Where like I think Pokken Tournament like is a cut above because it has like dynamic viewing and like it
Yeah.
shifts and changes, and like it's hard to compare it to another game where it's like if you take Street Fighter, you take Mortal Kombat, you take
like Guilty Gear,
and stuff
they're
like
all
that.
on the same lines.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, don't get me. Anybody who loves these games, I don't know much about them, so don't get me wrong. But you have to have something different about it to really make it stand out. Which is why like Guilty Gear and Mortal Kombat's kind of taken like a backseat to probably Street Fighter and Smash and all this kind of stuff recently. And I think that's why Pokken is shining a little bit more because it is different.
But it's funny though, because all of those games that we just listed were represented at DreamHack Denver, and they were like tournaments for all of them. So I was like, this is awesome. Like you have so many fighting games, and you're able to reach all these communities, even though like they're all like in the same realm, but they have like the little niches that appeal to different markets. And I think that seeing them in a setting where like a lot of people can enjoy it in this like big arena and event, that was really cool to see. So
Super cool. So, all right, yeah, I think we covered most everything that we wanted to at least cover. For you guys both, or for me too, any final thoughts overall about everything we've talked so far?
No, I want to go into some shout outs before we get into our fan questions. Yeah, because we have fans.
Definitely.
Well, I'm here, so I don't know who else, but but it's okay. You guys are here, so if I was streaming right now, my view count would be 0. So it's the same thing, right? No, I think kind of with everything we talked about, Worlds was great. I still enjoyed it. Sad, disappointing, etc. But you move on. It was fun. I think Riot did a good job, and I think they're continuing to do a good job. So even though it seems like new users to the game is kind of dwindling, I think the people who have been playing and have put time into it, like us, still love playing it and still want to keep playing it, even though we probably don't have as much time as we used to. I mean, I come home from work and I still love playing the game, assuming I can get a few friends to play with me.
Yeah. I mean, Sal and I were just talking about that the other day too. We're like, not as many of our friends are on as much as they used to be. Like, I was talking earlier about like how the only reason why I had like a handful of viewers on my stream in college is because like my friends were like, they wanted to play with me, but I was streaming, so they would watch me, or they'd be playing with me while watching me. But like now it's not the case as much anymore. Everyone's like working, or they're in grad school, or they're still in undergrad and they're finishing up, and it's like, it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Good ending. So final comments too from our fans and viewers. First off, Sal, do you want to throw in a comment? I know you may have.
Oh.
You said you may have had a question or something.
No,
You're on the show already, so
mine wasn't that good. I think you guys should go with the ones.
Yeah, no,
right.
I've got a couple, but I want to do a really I want to do a shout out real quick. I want to do this at the beginning of the podcast. I really should have, but it just slipped my mind in the excitement of introducing Sal. So, the last episode that we uploaded was about my personal anxiety and my story and how I kind of realized what I had to deal with, the nature of the situation, and overcoming or still fighting the fear of being open about it. Because like just the idea of mental health in general is like very frowned upon. It's very difficult to talk about, and a lot of people just assume that like you're crazy or you're like less human than I am. You're like kind of stupid. But I got a lot of really positive feedback and support from the community. I heard from like friends that I hadn't heard from in years, and it was just really nice to see that people were very open and receptive to the idea of talking about something a little more sensitive. Granted, the episode was a little weird in that like I was kind of like telling my story, and I didn't actually get to talk a lot about like some of the things I struggle with. But the story itself, I think, had a lot of value, and it seemed like a lot of people who watched it did too. So I just wanted to personally say that that support means a lot to me, and I really do appreciate all the kind words from everybody. You guys wanted to comment on that, or should I just hop into the question?
I liked it. I watched it. I thought it was a really good one. I think the only one I liked more than that was the relationships one, just because it was pretty funny. It was a little off the cuff, as you guys like to say. I think you said it like 5 times during the video. But no, I thought it meant a lot that you were willing to share those experiences. I mean, I know being close to you, I knew some of that, but it was also still eye-opening, even though I was close to you, just to hear more from your own insight. So appreciate you sharing it. It meant a lot, and I know it took a lot of courage to do so.
Awesome. Thank you, Sal.
Yeah.
Cool. So I have a question from one of our fans. Her name is Julia, and she watches our podcast every week.
Awesome.
I think it's every week. The very first episode that we uploaded, she said that she listened to. She got ready for work, and it got her through her morning.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very heartwarming. But Julia says, and you guys can take turns answering, but it's not necessarily a question about the podcast, but it's a brain teaser. So a train is headed towards 5 people tied to a track, and you're standing next to a lever that can change the track's direction so it can go towards one person instead. So do you do nothing and let the trolley kill 5 people, or do you pull the lever and it kill 1 person? Note that there are no legal consequences for your choice. So Sal, you can go ahead and answer first.
Yeah, I think this is like a brain teaser that sometimes you'll see like an image of, and they kind of meme it, and it's like there's 5 people, and then there's like, I don't know, something stupid on the left side.
Yeah, like
you've probably seen it before.
Like Jabba the Hutt or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something dumb. Or like something you really love. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, if I had a
Tacos.
TSM logo over there, I'd be like, fuck, kill the 5 people. But no, I think it comes down to if you're willing to make that choice and that kind of willing to put that 1 on your head, that you're the one who made the decision that they wanted to kill that 1 person, versus like just letting the 5 happen. But I feel like you're still making the choice at the end of the day to let the 5 die as opposed to the 1, assuming they die. So I would pull the lever and switch it to the 1.
What about you, Dan?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Yeah. Man, just pull the lever, man. Pull the lever.
Yeah.
Same as Sal. Same explanation too. Yeah. At the end of the day, both ways, you're making a decision on whether or not to kill both or either side. So my thought is, hey, you can save 5 people, and 5 people's families will still be happy, I guess. Or you can just kill that 1. That one seems one is less than five. So.
That's
See,
true.
this is a really interesting point that you guys are making, where like, and I'm really glad you both said it, that like you make the conscious decision to kill one person,
Mhm.
and that one person will hang over your head. And I think that part of me believes that that one person will hang over your head more than five, because it's like an individual that you like will look a lot into, as opposed to like five people where like it might be a little harder. Like you might not be attached to all five the way you would be to one person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm really torn too. Personally, I would also pull the lever, but like realistically speaking, I feel like if I was in a scenario, I would be on my phone, play Pokemon Go, think about pulling the lever, and then forget.
Yeah.
What the?
just keep pulling the lever back and forth, and just be like, I'm letting it roll. One of you guys, I don't know where it's gonna go.
Hey, if you pull it hard enough and back and forth enough, maybe it goes in the middle.
In the middle, or breaks. Yeah.
So
Maybe.
Julia actually had a follow up
Uh-oh.
because I don't know, maybe she just knew. She said, and a follow up if you
Mhm.
choose number two, which we all did.
Yeah.
What would your choice be if that one person was ill?
Oh.
What? Oh,
Uh,
was
I think
ill.
it would still. I thought she was sure gonna say like someone you knew. That's when
Yeah.
it gets difficult for me.
Someone you
I
I
love,
think if it's
someone you
ill,
knew.
if it's ill, I stick with it because I mean, depending on ill, I mean, I imagine she means deathly. I would still do like the ends justifies the means of keeping five people who are healthy alive versus one ill person. But yeah, that's just
Mhm.
me.
And what about, yeah, same thing.
So you guys value the lives of healthy people over someone sick.
It's hard to say that though. At the end of the day, I still say five over one, just because five is
Mhm.
like Dan said, simple math.
Mhm.
The little alligator points to the five. Um, But yeah, I wouldn't say that specifically, but in this scenario, I don't really know what she meant by ill. It could honestly be they have a cold, so there's not really a difference. Could be like they're literally on their deathbed. So
Mhm.
I don't think my decision changes based on who's sick
Yeah.
or what their illness is.
I
If they
guess,
actually,
yeah, but then I guess the other question where you can further say this is if
what
it
if all
was,
those five were ill?
well, nothing to do with the ill. I mean, what about you, Johnny? Same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like there is a part of me that's like, it's kind of weird, but like there is a part of me that thinks that if there was one person that was ill, I almost want to like save them, save him somehow, or like
Mhm.
make him feel better. And like killing him is just like you're just getting rid of him, and like that's how you just value that you would value a life based on like
Natural
the
selection,
success
man.
of living. Yeah, exactly, natural selection, and that like if their chance of living is lower than these healthy people who are fine now, then why would you kill them? I mean, it's kind of a very morbid way of thinking, but then it puts that one person in the spotlight where it's like that kind of sucks. I don't want to make this choice,
Yeah.
but
And then what about the follow-up question is, what if that one person was either a loved one, girlfriend, fiance, wife, child, parent? What would you do then?
so wait, so which one? You just listed like 20 different people.
Any of them.
They're all tied to the track on one.
They're all equally
They're all
as like
there.
equal, right? Like if it was your wife, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, any
Whoever
of
you
them.
hold in the highest esteem.
Yeah.
If it was my girlfriend, then that's my imagination, and I guess
I
I
was
would
gonna say
kill
the
my
track's just
imagination.
gonna go north.
It's just gonna go. It's gonna disappear.
Then it goes back to playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, basically.
Like what if it's your best friend, your mother, your brother?
Mm.
Yeah, I think at that point I'm a more selfish person, so I would just do the five people. That's when it gets actually tricky. If how much I know the person,
Mhm.
if it's anything of what you listed, it would be the five people because at the end of the day, I value more of what I hold comforting than what other people would be.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a very empathetic person,
Mhm.
so that's kind of why it's kind of an easy choice for me.
Same thing. I'm a little bit selfish in my choice, so just gonna let it run and not pull the lever.
Mhm. Yeah, I would actually pull the lever. In most scenarios, I think Well, actually, I don't know if I would say most, but like more than I would imagine. Just because I think most of my friends, I like to believe most of my friends are very caring people, and I think that they would be noble in letting themselves be sacrificed for the greater good of other five. But at the same time, it wouldn't necessarily be them making the decision; it would be me. So
I'm just saying, you better pull that lever.
You better not pull.
Boy, better not pull that lever if I'm tied to that track.
You
I'll
better.
haunt your ass.
yeah,
I'll be hiding behind you every time you do DJ talks. You motherfucker.
you're gonna show up from here.
I'm gonna be Harry Potter's face.
Yo, did you guys hear that they're gonna make a Harry Potter game with Niantic and Warner Bros. And some shit?
Oh yeah, you posted that today.
I'm so fucking hyped for that. I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter, and I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
It should be cool. Hopefully, this actually goes through
Mhm.
and it holds the audience a bit more. But yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
Any other question, comment, Johnny, that came through?
No.
Yeah, sounds
Not
good.
that I can
I mean, we got a couple comments on our videos and stuff, so we are reading them. So just know you're being read. It wasn't anything specific to be answered or to be said, but yeah. Henry,
What about Henry?
he posted a couple of things, comments. We see them, we view them, we respond to them. So
There's a lot of people that comment. Henry's comments are probably like they had the least amount of content in them. He was just like, "Oh, nice guest."
no comments on our YouTube videos itself. So
Yeah.
oh really? Oh shit. Well,
Well, I mean, the more recent one, he was just like, "Oh, nice, you have a guest."
yeah.
I appreciate you being excited for me. Jesus
go.
Christ. I appreciate you being excited for me. There it is. Cut that, Dan. How much posts do you do after this? What do you cut?
Nothing. We just upload this shit.
Upload this shit right there.
I gotta talk to my agents. Then this is not gonna be.
All right. Well, that I think wraps it up for us. Then, if we have no other comments and
The last thing is, if you haven't seen a Pokemon movie, Pokemon I Choose You, I think is what it was called, or Pikachu I Choose You.
Yeah,
Wait, what was
Pikachu.
it called? Is it Pikachu?
I think so.
You're probably right. Yeah, you should watch it. That shit was pretty good.
all right.
I watched it. I cried. Would recommend.
I'm
I
gonna
cried
watch
twice,
it this.
actually.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend. Hopefully with some friends, and hopefully all three of us cry. So.
Hell yeah.
Love that. Well, that will wrap up everything. Thank you to our first special guest on DJ Talks,
Thanks for
Sal.
having me.
Tell them where they can find you.
So going back, you can find my amazing stream, SugarSugarSal. It's a picture of an anime girl, so I guess I do go to ASEN. So feel free to follow, come watch, etc. Outside of that, Sal _ Schillaci, I think is my Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay,
But
yeah.
I'm not really active on that, so don't really care about that.
Hey, if you're gonna be a
Facebook,
big
if you
streamer,
wanna
man,
add me.
you're
Yeah,
a
if
big
you wanna
streamer.
add
You're
me.
gonna have to
Yeah.
be on Twitter. You know.
I guess that's true. I'll be posting every day. Like, finally got the 280 word or character limit. I'm gonna do all this ... and then just fill it all the way out to annoy all my viewers. But yeah,
Instagram?
other than that- oh, and I don't even know what my handle is. Maybe probably Sal _ Schillaci. Just look at that.
All right.
I don't imagine there's a lot of me out there. If there are, and you watch this, definitely add me. We'll talk.
Well, once again, thank you. Same as always. Like, subscribe, comment. We will review your question at the end of every episode, so throw them out to either one of us. And
If you have a question for me, I am happy to get it from Dan or Johnny and answer for you.
We might even bring him back on next week. Who fucking knows?
Who knows?
We don't yet, but we might.
all right, thank you all. And we will see you next time.
No, that's not how it goes, Ben. You say, you'll see us next time. Peace.
You'll see us next time. Peace. All right, thanks.